What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so in this video, I want to talk about an interview that Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson, of the All the Smoke podcast did with Kevin Durant, of course, who is a member of the Brooklyn Nets. He has not played yet this season, but from all indications, he looks healthy. And he may actually debut later this season. Early reports suggested that he wouldn't play until the 2021 season, but maybe that might change. But anyway, on the podcast, they asked him certain questions. All right, they asked him about his time with the Golden State Warriors, and in particular, he brought up why he left OKC, and it's these statements that he made that caused some people to ruffle some feathers. I mean, these statements ruffle some people's feathers. He said that in OKC, I played for a lot of athletes. I didn't play with a lot of skill guys, not like shooters and ball handlers. All right. He said, so after a while, my game started to grow, and I was like, I need a change. This was before the 2016 season even started. I was tired of being the only guy who could make threes, make jump shots, and consistently make them. It sounds a lot like he's talking about Russell Westbrook. Okay. Is it a shot at Russell Westbrook? I mean, it depends on how you look at it. It sounds like, that exactly sounds like what he's talking about. Look, man, it's not. We all know that Russell Westbrook is not a great outside shooter. Okay, he's not a great outside shooter. He's a great athlete. He's not the most skilled basketball player. But then again, perhaps Ben Simmons isn't the most skilled either. You know what I'm saying? At least Russell Westbrook was showing a willingness to shoot the basketball from outside, and he still shows ability to shoot from mid-range. Ben Simmons refuses to even shoot the fucking basketball, but yet the media don't really criticize him the way they criticize Russ. Okay, just wanted to point that out, And the Sixers are very underachieving this year, and yet the media seems to put more emphasis and more blame on Joel Embiid than Ben Simmons. Okay? Just saying. Ben Simmons refuses to show leadership. He can't fucking shoot. He's more interested in Instagram models and fucking these thoughts out there. But yet, Joel Embiid gets all the fucking criticism from the mainstream media. A little bit of criticism to Ben. Where's another video? Yeah, Russell can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said in my video earlier that I think Russell Westbrook would be more appreciated if he played 15, 20 years ago. And the reason why I say that is because if you put Allen Iverson, who was a phenom when he played, in today's league, he would be criticized a lot. He would be criticized as a guy who don't shoot very well from outside. I think AI for his career was a 31% three-point shooter, which is only marginally better than Westbrook. He would shoot more of them, so his field goal percentage would be even lower. I think for his career, AI was about 43%, so AI probably be like a 41% shooter. All everybody would talk about is how he can't fucking shoot. He's a volume scorer who misses 59%, 60% of his shots. That's all they would talk about, the analytics, and, would show that he's a bad player, because the league is so predicated now on shooting and outside shooting and, and passing, which AI could do. And AI probably would be more of a facilitator who could that game would be emphasized more, and I think AI playing the game different. value now in today's NBA. That's why I said Russell Westbrook, I think 15, 20 years ago, when there was a lot more the guys who were the best players or the guys who were uh, it was more of a focus on athleticism in the game 15, 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You had guys like Stromile Swift. I'm not saying these were great players. Guys like him, Darius Miles, these young guys had Desmond Mason, Jason Richardson, uh, Stevie Franchise, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, young Kobe. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of uh, uh, um, uh, who else? Who else? Who else? Antonio McDyess, the Matrix, Sean Marion. It was all these guys that could jump out the gym. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking team, man. You know what I'm saying? All you saw was alley-oop dunks and motherfucker getting dunked on in the game all the fucking time. And now you don't really see it as much, you know? So that's why I say I think Russell Westbrook would be more appreciated if he played 15, 20 years ago. Um, you know, look, what he's saying, I get what Kevin Durant's saying. It's not like he's lying. Um, that team was not a great shooting team in a league that was starting to become more and more predicated on shooting. I get it. Um, I will say this, though. The last 2 or 3 games of that series in 2016 against the Warriors, Durant didn't show up either. You know what I'm saying? When they held that 3-1 lead, it wasn't just Westbrook, you know, that was melting down that series. It was Kevin Durant all of a sudden getting the ball stripped from him all the time, and like he was getting to the point where he was scared to death to even fucking dribble. He was fucking taking terrible threes, and you know, like, look, at the end of the day, this is it. He chose to go to the Warriors. He won championships. Okay, whether or not he got the satisfaction that he wanted out of that experience, that's Durant. You know what I'm saying? He seems to not have been satisfied with experience. I don't know why he thought that he would have the same love and adulation that Clay and Steph got and could get because those are homegrown guys. This would never, ever show the same appreciation for Moses Malone that they still do for Julius Erving, even though very instrumental in helping to bring that 83 Sixer title. I think they just retired Moses Malone number this fucking year, which is 5 years after, 4 years or so after he died, and almost 40 years after the title run. That's just how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. So it is what it is with Kevin Durant, man. I respect the hell of him as a basketball player. I think he's a top 15 to 20 all time player right now. I think he's probably gonna retire as damn near a top 10 all time player, if not a top 10 all time player. But I get tired of his fucking incessant crying about shit. You know? You've won 2 championships. You've won 2 final MVPs. Okay, when you join the Brooklyn Nets, particularly next year, you and Irving are going to be a 1-2 tandem. All right, you guys are going to be contenders in the Eastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? I think for the next couple of years, it's going to be the Bucks and the Nets. They're going to be the 2 best teams in the East. That's going to be an exciting series to watch. But if I were Durant, I wouldn't feel the need to even talk about it anymore because Westbrook is no longer with the Thunder. All right, that was going on 4 years ago. I don't know why people even keep bringing it up anymore. I don't get it. I don't understand why people continue to keep bringing it up about the him leaving the Thunder to the Warriors. That shit is gone. Passion should have since cooled with that situation. I can see both sides of the argument. I thought at the time that His teammates deserve better than that. You know, according to his teammates, he didn't give them much indication he was going to leave. Okay, I thought he could have handled that better if that was true. But then at the same time, it is true that the media held it against Kevin Durant to go to the Warriors because he pretty much derailed 2 championships from LeBron's legacy. If he hadn't gone to the Warriors, it's very possible that LeBron would have 5 championships right now. Very possible. But alas, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Durant, right now, he's chasing LeBron's legacy, which get number 3. I honestly still believe that if he wasn't injured last year, that he'd have got number 3 last year. But that's what it could have, should have. That's pretty much all I got to say, man. You know, I think Kevin Durant a hell of a goddamn player, man. But I just get tired of people bringing that shit up, man. You know what I'm saying? That was so long ago now. You know, there's really not much more he can say. Like, haven't we all pretty much figured that was part of the equation anyway? That part of the reason why he left is because he figured that he couldn't win with these guys. He figured that he was taking on too much of a load. And he said, I remember in interviews that playing with the Warriors, it was so much easier. And maybe on the court it was easier, but there were certain things that he had to, and certain people that he had to deal with that rubbed him the wrong way. You know? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know. Kevin Durant has been proven to be a great basketball player. He's a much better player than Russell Westbrook. And this is coming from a Westbrook fan. And if you like comparing the two guys, Durant to me is in a better position once he comes back next year. He's in a better position to put himself in to the finals more so than Russell Westbrook. I just don't think in this era Russell on an aim that Kevin Durant can. This is a league where it's more important to be able to make basketball. You know, look, when you see the thing about, I've noticed too about when you have a league that's so 3-point heavy, teams are taking an average of 33 3-pointers a game, which is an all-time record. No matter how good a team is defensively, if you have guys that can just pull up from 27 feet and make threes, there's not much you can do defensively for that. I mean, you could load up on one guy, but then that leaves all these other guys open, and then you run the risk of leaving other guys who are good or great 3-point shooters open. And then if you load up too much in the perimeter, then that just leaves the interior guys, the post guys wide open for easy scores and putbacks. So it's like at the end of the day, it's a different league. The 3-point shot and the ability to make outside shots, it opens up so much for a team. Whereas a guy like Russell Westbrook, who can do a lot of damage with his ability to penetrate and get at the basket, I still don't find that, and most people will tell you it's not as devastating as being a guy that can not only do that, but also be able to make shots from outside and from all over the court. So that's what makes Kevin Durant a better player. Just his shit, not only just the fact that he's more skilled than Russell Westbrook, but his size, the wingspan, all these things just make Kevin Durant a just far more deadly weapon out there. And even if Kevin Durant is only 85% of what he was with the Warriors, that's still better than everybody except for maybe one guy. You know what I'm saying? Even if Kevin Durant is not quite Kevin Durant and he's only 85 to 90% of Kevin Durant, then that would still mean he's either the best player or only behind Kawhi Leonard. You know, that's how fucking good he was with the Warriors. But that's it, man. Tell me what you guys